The bulldozers had finished their work, and the smell of fresh cement and sawdust hung in the air like a warning. Karen stood at the edge of the property, arms crossed, surveying the 56 new homes she had pushed through over Marcus Thompson's land. She smirked, convinced of her victory. For months, she had ignored warnings, legal notices, and the quiet murmurs of the community. The land, she thought, was hers now. But Marcus didn't look defeated. He stood in the shadows, calm, as if every decision she made played right into a plan centuries in the making. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. Marcus walked slowly toward the line of houses, each step deliberate. The sun glinted off the windows, blinding Karen just enough for her to miss the subtle grin tugging at his lips. He remembered every story his grandfather had whispered about the family's land, about traps and clauses buried in dusty legal tomes that no outsider could understand. And now, with every foundation laid, every roof completed, the trap was ready to snap. Karen laughed nervously, trying to hide the unease creeping into her voice. "This is mine," she said. "I did all this work. No one can stop me now." Her words were loud, but the tension in her shoulders betrayed her. The air felt heavy, charged, like the pause before a storm breaks. A flock of birds rose from a nearby tree, their wings beating like warnings against the sky. Neighbors began to gather at the edges of the property. Murmurs rippled through the crowd, curious whispers growing louder as the unfolding confrontation drew their attention. Marcus stopped, pulling a worn leather-bound folder from his jacket. He opened it slowly, deliberately, revealing yellowed pages, legal seals, and signatures dating back a century.
8.
Every eye in the crowd widened. Karen's smirk faltered as she stepped closer. "What? What is that?" she stammered, but Marcus didn't answer immediately. He let her gaze fall over the documents, the weight of history pressing down like a tidal wave. "The land you think you own," Marcus said finally, voice calm but firm, "has been protected by my family for over 100 years. Every action you've taken tonight, every home built, violates covenants that predate your existence here." A stunned silence fell. The community leaned forward, straining to hear. Karen's eyes darted between the documents, the crowd, and Marcus. Her confidence cracked with each passing second. The trap was not just legal. It was moral, historical, and unstoppable. Then Marcus gestured to the homes themselves. "According to these documents, anything built without approval is forfeit. The properties, the materials, even the profits, all of it legally belongs back to my family." He closed the folder with a soft but final thud. Karen's face turned pale. The laughter she had thought would mask her fear dissolved completely. Around her, the community whispered in awe and disbelief. Even the machinery she had relied on for dominance felt impotent under the weight of time, law, and truth. Marcus smiled faintly, a mixture of pride and sadness in his eyes. Power is fleeting. Respect for history, for community, that lasts generations. You forgot that. The wind stirred, carrying the scent of dust and wood, rustling leaves that seemed to echo the triumph of patience and legacy. As the realization sank in, Karen backed away, speechless, leaving the land in her 56 homes under Marcus's rightful authority. The neighbors erupted into quiet applause, not for vengeance, but for justice served in its most dignified, inevitable form. Marcus stood alone for a moment, breathing in the evening air, feeling the weight of history settle comfortably around him. The land was safe, his family's legacy intact, and a powerful reminder lingered: arrogance and greed crumble when met with foresight and resilience. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the reclaimed land, Marcus knew one truth: patience and heritage are forces stronger than any bulldozer or HOA mandate.